evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, 2 more cases of measles have been reported in the state. Maggie Parton is the most recent Tullahoma honorary alderman. And we'll talk with Dot Watson from the Coffee County Literacy Council. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. 2018 Kia Stinger up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
It takes an Olympic effort to face Alzheimer's disease. Since 1983, Alzheimer's Tennessee has been a partner for those leading the fight against dementia, stepping up for their loved ones, and volunteering for the cause. When it happens to your family, you understand the need. Alzheimer's Tennessee was here for me, and they're here for you.
Sign up today for the Alzheimer's Tennessee Purple Olympics, Saturday, May 11th at Tullahoma High School. Go to alztennessee.org to help make Alzheimer's a memory.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Health State Public Health Laboratory has confirmed 2 additional cases of measles in residents of East Tennessee. This brings the total number of measles cases in the state to 3. The 2 new cases are associated with the first measles case in Tennessee this year, which was announced April 18th and were identified as part of the ongoing contact investigation. Tennessee Immunization Program Medical Director Dr. Michelle Fiscus said, quote, "We expected to have more measles cases linked to the first one, and these new cases occurred in people we had identified and were monitoring as contacts of the first patient. The good news is there are no additional contacts of these new cases that have not already been identified," end quote.
While this outbreak investigation is currently centered in East Tennessee, all Tennesseans should be aware of measles and its symptoms. Measles symptoms may include fever, runny nose, body aches, watery eyes, and white spots in the mouth. Several days after these symptoms start, a red spotty rash typically begins on the face and spreads over the body. Symptoms may develop anytime in the 21 days following exposure to the illness. Nearly 1 in 3 measles patients will develop ear infections, diarrhea, or pneumonia. Measles can be fatal in approximately 1 to 2 out of every 1,000 cases. All Tennesseans are urged to ensure they are up to date on their measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, which is extremely effective in preventing infection. The measles virus is highly contagious and can stay airborne or live on surfaces for up to 2 hours. People recently infected with measles may not have any symptoms of illness, but can transmit the virus for about 5 days before the typical measles rash appears.
Tullahoma Community Coordinator Winston Brooks updated the Board of Mayor and Aldermen on the progress of the city's Arts Alive event, which is coming up the last of May.
Well, thank you, Mayor, Alderman. It's my pleasure to be with you tonight and give you an update on the Art Festival. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to work on this project. It's really an exciting project, and it takes a lot of teamwork. We work with the Arts Council, the South Jackson, the Arts Center, other arts organizations in town, Public Works, Parks and Recreation to bring this together from start to finish. And what I've put in front of you is a sampling of the artists that have already signed up. So we have 26 artists already signed up this year. The event's going to be May 25th and 26th, and it's a juried arts festival, so everything has to be handmade, and it's cash prizes, which is really unique for the arts festival world. So just really trying to establish Tullahoma as a regional arts destination, and with last year's event, I think we really made a good impression. Most of these people that have signed up, about 12 of the 26 we have are repeats, and the rest are new. So we don't need to go through. I just want you to be able to turn through here and see the quality we've got. The last, second to last page is about sponsors. There's still a few sponsorships available. If anyone wants to help out, please contact myself. And there's all kinds of sponsors from the top tier to just friends of the Arts Festival down there at the bottom. So we are looking for all types of partnerships and teamwork. And if anyone out there listening is an artist and wants to be involved, you can go to TullahomaArtsCouncil.com. And if you also, we're looking for a few more food trucks. We have a couple of people that have confirmed, but we need about 2 or 3 more, and hoping to get about another 25 artists. And finally, on the last page is just a flyer for the event, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr. Wilkes, appreciate you. We're all working hard to position Tullahoma more as an arts destination, and this is a piece of that, and an important piece of that. So, thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, if you have any questions that come to mind later on, please contact me. And Facebook, Tullahoma Arts Alive, and also TullahomaArtsCouncil.com. And there's a lot of information out there you can go study. Thank you.
Thank you.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Taurus, yours today for $24,995. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tullahoma High School senior Maggie Parton, daughter of Coffee County Sheriff Chad Parton, was selected as the most recent honorary alderman.
So you see we have our honorary alderman has joined us this evening. We're very pleased to welcome Miss Maggie Parton as our honorary alderman. She's quite a distinguished young lady. In her resume, this is how she describes herself, which I thought was most impressive, and I want to read this to you, please. She's an accomplished, she describes herself as an accomplished and energetic with a solid history of achievement in instructing and leading. She's a motivated leader with strong organizational and prioritization abilities. Her areas of expertise include motivation, dedication, and hard work. Isn't that impressive? Yeah, very impressive. She's a senior at Tullahoma High School. She also has attended 3 classes at Montlow State College, including English 1010, Math 1710, and this is a new one for me, aerobic walking. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. She's a varsity cheerleader for 4 years. She's been active in HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America. She's active in Distributive Education Clubs of America. She's active in the Student Council. She was first runner-up and Distinguished Young Woman. She was the senior homecoming attendant. She's been involved in the Daughters of the American Revolution, Certified Nursing Program. I mean, this just goes on and on. It's so impressive. She assisted, as you know, with our Sports Council Hall of Fame. And she's been involved in Caring for Kids, school blood drives, Leadership Summit. She's a lifeguard at D.W. Wilson. She's employed at Tennessee Gymnastics and Cheerleading. She works part-time at Sports Plus. Very, very impressive young lady. So, Ms. Parton, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'd just like to say thank you for letting me be here tonight. I am a senior at Tullahoma High School, and as well as a captain for my cheerleading team. I love football, but almost as much as I like basketball, so I really like being out in front of my students and my student body. Our pep rallies have been a little on the quiet side for my last 4 years, and one thing I would like to see in the future of Tullahoma is more enthusiasm for our students. So I hope that the senior class can leave a print on the high school for more enthusiasm.
Yeah, very good. Good thought. Now, where do you plan on attending school after
I
graduation?
plan on attending Tennessee Tech University and majoring in nursing. I'm hoping to graduate with my bachelor's of nursing, and then they now have an online program where you can have your nurse practitioner in 2 years. So I hope to complete that.
Good. Now, what part of nursing do you plan on pursuing?
I hope going into endocrinology so I can learn more about diabetes and the thyroid.
Yeah. Now, do you have any family that's joined you tonight?
Yes, sir. I have my mom.
My mom. So you've also, you're the daughter of another elected official.
Yes, sir. My dad is the sheriff, so I like to think I've been brought up in the community.
Very good. Well, we appreciate you being with us tonight.
Thank
If you
you.
would stand at your desk, we're going to offer you a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman tonight. Congratulations.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we pack. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. And I grow and get bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jumping up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Welcome back. This Thursday has been designated as National Day of Prayer. Peggy Burton spoke with two of the volunteers planning the Coffee County event.
I have the nicest people on the set with me today. Marilyn Howard and Pastor Alex Robertson. Are y'all from Manchester?
We live in Manchester.
Okay, I forgot to ask you that. And the National Day of Prayer is coming up.
Well, I'm Marilyn Howard, and this is my co-chair of the National Day of Prayer, and we're just here to announce it's one of my favorite events of the year, and it's such a privilege that to co-chair the National Day of Prayer gathering in Manchester, Tennessee. It's for everybody to come, and in 1988, a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know until I really got involved in this. In 1988, Peggy, it was placed into law that the first Thursday in May would be the National Day of Prayer. And since then, every president has signed a proclamation that the first Thursday in May would be the National Day of Prayer.
Forever.
Yes.
And so this is across our nation. Does it go across the world, or is it just the United States?
We do have people in other countries that I know that are on prayer calls or Facebook friends that do pray for America and for our schools, our nation.
Pastor Robertson, will you be leading the prayer that day?
No, ma'am. I will help. We have multiple people praying for our government as instructed in the Bible in 1 Timothy 2. First of all, I urge that prayers, petitions, and thanksgivings be made on behalf of our leaders. So we will do that, and we will pray for all of our leaders, our mayors, our aldermen. Marilyn forgot to tell you, she's also our alderman for Manchester City, so we thank her for that. But we will pray for our leaders, as well as state leaders and our federal leaders.
Is this the first year you two have done this, or have you been doing it for several years?
Well, how many years
We've been
have we
doing it for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Just
and making sure it happens.
But we believe in the power of prayer.
Yes.
Government cannot change our nation. Government cannot change our school, but God can.
That's right.
And the prayers of His people. I believe in 2 Joel that says in 15 and 16, sound the trumpet, gather the people, consecrate a fast. So just gathering together, God is going to listen to our prayers, and I'm believing.
And you're believing it's going to make a difference.
Yes.
And you're asking people whether they can come to the what is it? The room you're going to be in?
The Manchester City Hall in the boardroom.
If you can't make it there, gather together in your church or in your school or in your backyard, in your house, wherever you are, and honor this moment.
Yes. And one of our number one prayer request for our county, which we pray for Tullahoma City, Manchester City, and our county weekly. We have a prayer meeting specifically for our county and our cities. Our number one prayer request is unity for our entire community. So we want to invite everyone to come join us and unite in prayer for our communities, for our cities, for our county, because we want the entire county to prosper. Every citizen, every business, every resident.
How many people usually show up?
Well, the room is packed. Last year, we've always had it at the courthouse because it's a county-wide event in other counties. But last year, because of the rain, we went inside because it's when KK sets up the sound system. It's so convenient that they go upstairs, they set it, and we don't have to when it starts to rain. So
you don't have to worry to run inside.
But we want everybody together.
Yes. Please join us.
Whether you're on the platform with all these pastors and we're praying for all the mayors of Coffee County to come and Tullahoma.
Hopefully they will,
Yes. Whether you're on the platform praying, but you can join in prayer with us, and I'm just excited.
Yes.
I know God's going to move.
We are out of time. It goes really fast, and there's other things happening, but don't forget the National Day of Prayer next Thursday at City Hall, 12 o'clock till 1. Please show up if you possibly can. If not, observe the day.
More newsletter is coming up in just a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma. From flatbeds to dump beds and anything in between, let our commercial truck department tell you all about it at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma on Highway 55. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Can you imagine a world without beauty? Without color? Without creativity? Without art? Well, neither can we. Keep arts alive and experience all kinds of arts and crafts at the second annual Arts Alive Tullahoma on the newly renovated lawn of the South Jackson Civic Center, May 25th and 26th. For details, visit TullahomaArtsCouncil.com and come spend the day at our fun, family-friendly arts festival. Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke recently with Dot Watson with the Coffee County Literacy Council.
Our guest today is Miss Dot Watson, who is very much a lady about town. If you've been around here a few years, you can't help but be aware of the number of things that she gets herself involved in, and very successfully. We want to talk about one of those this morning, and that is the Literacy Council and the bookshelf or bookstore that they have as part of the Literacy Council, and we want to find out what they're all about. So, Dot, appreciate your taking time to join us.
Thank you.
And before we get into the Literacy Council, how about refreshing the folks a little bit on who is Dot?
Dot's one of the oldest natives in Tullahoma, so I have a lot of history to talk about. But I've been a teacher, a secondary science teacher, and later became a nurse and loved being a nurse, and just really a supporter of education of any kind. And so that's why I'm involved with the Literacy Council and the bookshelf, and glad to be a part of that, and hope others will enjoy what we have to offer.
Okay. And along the line, you might mention in passing that you also spent 25, 30 years in the military.
Well, my husband.
Yes.
But I followed him to the ends of the earth.
Right.
So
he was Navy, right?
Right.
Navy JAG.
And so when he retired, he said, "You followed me, I'll go where you want to go." I said, "I want to go home to Tullahoma."
Go home. Okay.
We're
Very good.
here.
So, Dot, let's just sort of begin at the beginning. Tell the folks what the Literacy Council is, what is it you're trying to do, and how come?
The Literacy Council is a not-for-profit organization. It's a 501c3, of which we have many in Coffee County. Yeah. It is 30 years old. It was started when the governor 30 years ago said we need to improve education and have more people with a high school diploma. So it was started then, and it is operated or supported by the Department of Labor and Workforce Development in the state of Tennessee. And they're the ones who fund most of the program. It was in the beginning, it was offered to be housed in Manchester with the Coffee County schools, but they turned that down, and so it came to Tullahoma, and Dr. Embry was in office at that time as the superintendent, and he was very excited to have it here. So we were able to start. The teachers are hired through the Department of Labor and Workforce Development and to run the program, and it's been very successful through the years. And classes
are they employees of the Department of Labor and your teachers as such?
I think so, yes, probably, because their funding comes through that. It's administered, right. The funds, even though we're not a part of the Department of Education, the local school system, I think, gets the grant money, and then they're paid that way.
Yeah, okay.
And, it is, we have classes in both Tullahoma and Manchester. Our Literacy Council is composed of 20 members, plus the 3 ex officio members who are the superintendents of the local schools.
3 school systems.
And so we have the classes in both communities.
Okay. And again, I think just to make sure there's no misunderstanding about this, your real purpose is to have everybody in the state graduated from high school.
As many as possible.
And you've got how many now? I'm sure there's no such thing as an accurate count of this, but how many folks do you think are floating around the county who do not have a high school education?
We think there's somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 adults in Coffee County who do not have a high school diploma or an equivalency.
From a workforce standpoint, they're pretty limited in the jobs they can get, aren't they? So
they are. And that's why if they can get this high school equivalency that's offered through adult education, they have a credential to help them get a job.
Right. And they also are in the position to take another step education-wise if they want to, right?
Yeah.
So,
if they have that, then they can go to the technical schools, they can go to Montlow.
And they can become part of the Tennessee Promise program so that their efforts are funded. Okay.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Dr. Danielle Henson, who has recently moved her family practice to Tullahoma, and we'll have coverage from last weekend's Earth Day Festival. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Check out the 2019 Chevrolet Equinox, up to 21% off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the Bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1942 at 90 degrees. The record low was in 1969 at 36 degrees. Average high on this day is 75 and the average low is 52. Cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of 65. Cloudy weather continues in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 83 and a low of 65, and some storms expected on Thursday in the afternoon with a high of 83 and a low of 64. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.